fucking alcoholic.
It's Sunday, man. It's the weekend. It's the time to relax and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything,
You can hear me? We got a lag on or
shit, I can hear you, though. You can hear me?
yeah, I mean I can hear you, but is it like a lag to it?
Nah, I hear you fine. That shit flowing.
All right, 10-4.
What you had going on this goddamn Sunday,
You
man?
live as a motherfucker, man. This right now, nothing. You ain't know what to do, nigga. Football over, lost as a motherfucker.
Nigga, that's what the fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I just been
I
having
don't
this
know what to
conversation
do.
earlier. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on with the Sundays, man? Sundays is dead. I don't know what the fucking do on a Sunday now. Like, what?
I don't
It's
know
like,
what
what
to
the
do
hell? And you know the shit crazy
because
because it's like, for every year to be, the shit happens, of course, at the end of every season. It still is like, what the hell is the answer? Like, what the fuck do you be doing when football go out? You kind of just, like,
well,
it
I
stings
mean,
at you and it kind of goes away. Because, you know, life just don't stop and shit, but goddamn, you just subconsciously fall into like not having it, and then you just get the hype working back up to about to
I mean, especially
re-enter.
for us football type guys who follow it.
Man, that shit been over for me though, man. Fucking Skins, man. Washington, for those who want to be all politically correct.
Yeah, I mean, our football season been over since what, November?
I want to say, man, that's the first time in my life, like the most I ever been indulged into the NBA season before football, before the Super Bowl game and whatnot. Because usually, bro, I don't be caring really much of nothing but NBA until goddamn the whole season over with. So, which is typically coming up on All Star and then get into the playoffs when it kind of matters, so to say. You know, as a non basketball head, I rock with the basketball now. Don't get it twisted, but and I ain't so hard pressed about NBA like I am the NFL. But this year, yeah, I can say, man, I've
Yeah,
been
like I
really,
don't
you
watch
know,
basketball at all.
now I've been checking it out, man, just on the strength of like you got some attractions that can just you gonna catch the entertainment as far as the Wimby. Like, man, that's some indifferent shit going on. This motherfucker like 7'6", goddamn, moving around like a damn shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some acts you want to see. Some guys out there pulling
Well,
some numbers like Luka Doncic doing all type of crazy numbers night in and night out. Like, there's some shit. There's some shit going down in the NBA that is a little irregular.
how do you feel about how gambling is now like?
Man, there's some
I
shit
mean,
I
I
talk
guess you
about
still
all
have
the
a
time.
stigma to it, but now all of a sudden it's accepted in these leagues. NFL, NBA. I don't know about baseball. I don't watch baseball, but you would you would figure that they would really be upset with this shit. But the way that they've accepted gambling and
Listen,
embraced it, like that's the only reason I've been watching basketball lately is because I'll go on Underdog or Prize Picks and
FanDuel
put my
and shit.
little $2 bet,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
it's kind of, I mean, I say weird. I'm not I'm not that old, so I don't come from such of a time where like betting and gambling was so underground, or like I didn't come of
Mhm.
age during that time where betting was so underground. So I would like to speak to somebody who was gambling back then and what's going on
Well,
now. How do you feel about that?
so you got, I mean, you know me, I did personally or whatever. So I definitely be having my hands at the gambling and shit. But I'll say this, even before, because I was more or less like a kid, ain't much shaking nothing. I'm not really betting for real. But I remember ESPN had a take on like when fantasy football was first out back when that shit was like on paper, like you had to get the kit, and really rally with the fellas or your group of people who doing it. There was no like digital version of that shit, no apps and stuff. The apps wasn't even a damn thing itself. You know what I mean? When fantasy football came out, and you had
Right.
guys at like these offices, these big offices, they would do the fantasy football, And then along with it, that's when they would start their gambling within that shit. And these motherfuckers would be losing like 6-figure jobs behind gambling on fantasy football and whatnot. You know, along with the fantasy, you got your regular bets on the games and all that other shit tying into it. But it was mainly around fantasy. When right now, like you say, you got a goddamn underdog and all that shit killing it right now on a legal measure. It's like it was one of those things, like I'm gonna say kind of hand in hand with the marijuana shit. Like, man, so much as this shit is going on that fuck it, instead of just outlawing it, we gotta get some type of regulation because there's money in this shit. I don't care how much of the illegal shit we talking about here. You know, fucking big tax motherfuckers see, hey, we can get our cut on this shit. You know what I'm saying? It is just such an epidemic that goddamn it, we gotta form this shit in some type of fashion where we can control it. You know, so it's like a big slap to all the motherfuckers back in the day who had to have repercussions of that gambling and shit, because now this shit legal. Like, yeah, I'll be pissed. I'll be like, God damn, ain't this a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
Same way the motherfucker kind of what my next question was going to be to you. How do you feel about that? Like, so at one point in time when gambling was such an evil, monstrous thing, they would demonize it and you would hear all of these things. But now that it's legal, it's being accepted. So does legalization automatically make something morally right or morally wrong? Or does prohibition make something automatically morally wrong?
Nah, man, that's a great question, because that's something that I've always personally had a conflict of interest with type shit. Like, just as coming up, it's like you know, it'll be some things that is like said against the law, but you know, you really trying to be an aid to something. And what I mean, like a quick example, like man, you're hungry, you're starving. Like, not in no metaphorical sense. I'm talking about literally your stomach is aching, you haven't eaten, you're hungry, and like you poor, and there's like a loaf of bread there up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? It's not morally right for you to mess with something that's not yours, take something that's not yours. But survival here, you know, are you gonna just starve?
At what point does that instinct kick in?
You know? So I say a lot of things be pertaining to, and now I'm gonna keep it in my personal sense, because that's all I know is being put in those type of situations. The best you can do is, once you have like said found a way out of being on that type of time, like those type of situation, that way of living, that survival stage, and you lived up, just try to put your good back in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Whether you can hands-on go back to said person done wrong, whatever, to make it right, whatever the case might be, but somewhere, somehow pay it forward in the universe, you know, if you can't have those type of measures.
So if you know, so if you're put in a situation where you have to fend for yourself and you result to, I guess, some unmoralistic type tactics to get out of the way, you feel as though it's, I won't say okay, but you have an obligation that once you get on the other side of that to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like, it's like a loan without asking for it. You know, it's just like the sense of like you know, just kind of like goddamn, like you are obligated to, like, goddamn, like the payback. Like, it can't just be, you know, like if I'm saying, if you're morally wrong, like if you mean, because you got some people out there that's just like, fuck it, they at a bad spot, anybody could get it. They just an animal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you happen to be the person,
give me 1 second, Kai. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you straight, G.
Oh. Okay, not to cut you off, my nigga. You was good. You could have stayed right there. Okay. Go ahead, G.
But yeah, no, goddamn, damn, what the fuck I've been kicking? But they goddamn, I don't even talk about the damn morals and shit. when it comes to survival methods. Like, yeah, if it is that just survival, yeah, you do kind of owe it. You do owe it.
Yeah, obligate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you owe it.
Right. You obligated to pay it back to get that thing back, right? Because like I said, when it comes to any said loan or whatever, the loan is for the assist of like doing better, so to say. It's not to keep someone in the hole, the upper hand over the underhand type
Right.
shit. It's for the motherfucker to come up. And so when you come up, it's like, yeah, you reap the benefits. And the benefits ain't even so much as like I said, pay back, because most loans, well, it's already the interest. It's already taken care of in that sense. But for the
Yeah,
person, just the
sense. Yeah.
but the person, just the opportunity given to get on your feet or whatever, it's just, yeah, in a moral sense, respectful to goddamn shine some light back on you being able to be able.
Okay, so that leads me to ask you this. So how long should someone feel indebted to someone that does something for them? Somebody gives you, $25. How long should that favor carry?
So, I mean, I feel like straight up on the said agreement, like if it's about, hey, pay me, let me hold 25 and I'll give you back 25, just straight like that. You give them back that $25 there, that's that. You know what I mean? Y'all clear. If the person say, goddamn, with the interest, whatever the amount they give you, what they want back,
Should be
once you
clean,
give
right?
them back that shit clear. Like, ain't no so much as like nobody should just feel entitled just because of the opportunity. Now, somebody want to take up extra appreciation. That's when we put a star next to somebody's name. When people are so grateful and they tell you what it mean, like they move in a sense of like, hey, it's not the fact that you just doing that for me, like giving me the money and stuff like that. Like, man, nobody wasn't fucking with me, or my own close people that they think should have fucked with them wouldn't do it for them, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It just sticks out to them for whatever reason. And that's cool, but that's not something obligated. You know what I mean? It's about the favor of the favor. In that sense.
I do know.
So yeah, I don't feel like nobody should just be.
I follow. I'll bring that up because motherfuckers carry shit a long time, man. You'll give them all. You do something for a nigga 10, 15 years ago, and you'll run into that nigga tomorrow. And man, you remember goddamn that time when that man, nigga? No, I don't remember. That shit was so long ago. Why the fuck should I be remembering that? But it'd be so important.
You're absolutely right. People hold on to that shit like a motherfucker. Yeah, man. See me, I could see that. Like, I don't even much surround myself with someone to be. I look at that like that tit for tat shit. Now, if something is on a business measure, then that's just where it's gonna stay, and that just need to be understood. It shouldn't even be no personal feelings about it. Money get lent, money need to get paid back. What the fuck ever, just that. But you got the personal relationships of things people do. But me, honestly, it's like I'm even on grounds of like we talking about favors and stuff. I'm only doing favors of said loved ones, close like family, so to say. Anyhow, I'm not doing nothing with nobody who trying to be holding nothing on my head, or they feel like I'll do the same thing to them or whatever. It's like the people that I rock with, it's like I could never repay you, but you forever got my loyalty. You know what I'm saying? To matter what it come.
Right.
1,000 wishes, like, man, it don't fucking matter. But I do see a lot of people, and I hate that shit. I be seeing people just being like, man, I do this and that for such and such, and they can't do this for me, yada yada yada, and on a reoccurrence. And it's like, why the continuation of that? That's obviously not your people's. You know what I mean? Because I've done maybe, you know what I'm saying, give the benefit of the doubt, and could say that about said persons or whatever. Like, damn, boy trying to do me all kind of way. Damn, I thought they was better than that type of shit. But I'll tell you what, if I ever was saying that was a one-time deal. You know, it ain't gonna be no keeping it like why. Like I just be hearing like people just be keep on going on and on about a motherfucker, keep doing them wrong over and over again. It's like, bro, it's on you at this point. Like you got to see
Yeah.
that shit for what it is. Like, what are you really helping?
Yeah.
Like, why you keep helping someone that's doing you so dirty? Like, man, it's the third time.
What are you getting out
Man,
of
it's
that
the third time.
situation?
Yeah, and then you being so passionate about the shit talking. It's like, no, you just need to kind of. I'm not saying this saying like you can't be mad or upset
Separate
about it,
yourself.
but it got to be to yourself. It got to be all on self because that's what was on at that point. One time you can give somebody,
Yeah,
you
what are
can
you
take
doing to
somebody's word.
rectify?
Yeah, like I said, the shit that just gets me is just the energy they putting into like, oh, the person just doing them so dirty. It's like, nah, you showing them they can handle you like that. Like
I guess it
honestly,
boils down to control, right?
yeah, basically, man. You got some places like out here, like check this out. You got motherfuckers that's like,
People, we have a
my bad, I know you was like cut out. You been saying something?
I ain't hear you, my nigga. All I heard was motherfuckers.
Oh, but yeah, I guess it cut out. But no, but what I've been sitting there saying is like,
I ain't been saying nothing. I'm listening to you. You said you had to say something about
oh,
motherfuckers.
yeah. So what I'm getting at is like when it come down to like people with the handle and control of that favor shit and stuff like that. You got certain people who bank with certain banks because they allow you to have access to certain more things than the other one. There's less strict restrictions to certain things. Like other banks might allow an extra overdraft fee versus the other one. Other ones might have a lesser cap on a loan that you could get. Then you
Better
know what I
interest
mean.
rates
All of that shit right there. You know what I mean.
and
That
financial
still applies.
services and all of that.
So that can still apply within personal relationships to people. Like, or you allow a loan on said X amount of monies you could do for such, or you allow the shelter to a person to stay certain amount, the borrows of whatever the rise to get. However, you won't give the access to a person, you showing them, but you allow they can go because people gonna say, man, I hate the ask because they already know it's already a boundary they overstepped in or whatever, but shit, you open arms about it. It's just a little icebreaker
Yeah.
at this point. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I hate the ass. They really don't. They know they're comfortable. But yeah, that's just how I feel on that type of shit. But that whole control of it is just you gotta be on it, Because me, like, if we come to, I just feel like it's only logical when it come down to it. Don't be loaning out with what we're gonna break you in the first place. Like, understand if it's in your pocket, that just don't mean you got it.
Do you feel like you have control?
Control as far as
Do
what?
you feel like you control the situations and environment you find yourself in and around?
For the most part, I feel like it gotta
As
be
far
like
as
that.
you make the decision and then that you're manipulating in what's happening
mean,
around you.
Yeah, and I take everything that come with that because sometimes, it's crazy, man. I just didn't have somebody around me speaking in a sense of like me being righteous and shit, and it's looking at me in a sense of like, because I typically do control a lot of what's around me, and it's not like on some dictatorship shit, you know what I mean? Because I want everyone to think for themselves. Now, I don't even want nobody around me who don't think for themselves or whatnot. That's their own man.
Right.
You feel me? And I'm not saying it's like, yeah, I'll take leadership where that shit need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely don't play the bat because, like, I definitely think for myself. So yeah, hell yeah, I come with a lot of control.
I say that because I feel like I make a decision, but I definitely do not control the outcome of what happens or what's going on. So I kind of live in a state of fluidity. Whatever happens. I just roll with the flow. Because man, we stress ourselves about what we going to do, have done, will do, what we want to happen. But once that thought manifests and leaves your mouth or whatever action you take, you really have no control of how it comes back to you.
No, I feel you in that sense. Like, but with me, it's like just like you
So it's
said,
like
goddamn,
so it's
you can't control the outcome for sure. Like you can put in whatever you put in. Like I mean, you could follow the recipe or whatever. It could be something off in an ingredient you used or whatever. It could be something, you know what I mean? Life, throws you lemons sometimes and shit. Or whatever the fuck.
right.
But I tell you what, even in that sense of like that control, that damn I'm still controlling like the maneuverment, like what I got to do to maneuver that said outcome not being to my liking. Like it just ain't gonna stop. Like I'm going damn continuously stay
It
into
definitely
what's in
don't
my
stop.
hands.
You got to keep moving. You got to keep pushing.
Like I'm gonna do what's in my hands, and if it's a dead situation,
You got
then
to
hey,
keep pushing.
RIP to it. You gotta keep that shit pushing. If it's a dead situation, RIP to it. But everything around that's back what's in your hands. You got to make that do what it do.
Right. You got to be decisive in what you decide to go with.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
flip
Because I
flop back
mean,
and forth and create so
as
much torture on yourself.
because I mean, at this point in my life, man, coming up, my birthday coming up and shit, about to be goddamn 32 around this motherfucker. And in all these years I done been around, I'm at
All
an
right.
age I can say I done goddamn live and learn shit, because I done got that life at a young age, more than I have, right? But you know what I'm saying? You won't have your hand to say what the fuck life gonna throw at you, but you got to deal with. You just gotta keep that
No,
shit
you
pushing.
don't. Got to deal with it.
You're gonna have to deal with some shit. You just gonna have to deal with. There's no medicine for it. They ain't no like hold your hand about it. You know what I mean? But I said the ones that hold your hand about it, they go through it too with you. So what you gonna do in them situations? So just coming out the gate like that
Yeah. And
now,
what you gonna do when they gone?
exactly. And my unfortunates, I'm at those type of points. You feel me? To where
Yeah.
I just gotta goddamn see a lot of my moves a lot more calculated to where it's like, nah, I might not got the same recipe to success, but I done enough shit. Like I done had the wrong answers to know not what ain't gonna be the fucking answer. So it's a lot of avenues I know not to fucking go, and what ain't gonna fucking work, which is ultimately shape you to where the direction of where success lies. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't want to see it before, you just thought your way was the way in here, and you're gonna get, you know what I mean? You trying to go somewhere, you get derailed and shit like that. You gonna eventually learn that like you got to turn around and change that route if you want to get to that place.
That's a nice word. That's a nice word that you bring up when you say success, because that's a conversation that we have a lot on this platform. And then we talk to a lot of artists in different very levels of success. Like what is making it, what do you consider in your head as, well, I've had a successful life? Is it the white picket fence with the house and the kids and the dog? Or some people don't value that at all.
No,
They don't
man.
value material possessions.
The
And
measurement of success has been just so thrown
for
off in
them,
today's world. I feel like what they're measuring it by is way off. Like it just ain't no true values. But at the same time, it's like
so let's start off with, what are they measuring it by nowadays? What is success being measured by now? So you got
and
the material stuff, you got the cars you drive, the clothes you wear, and then you also have the social things to it, the groups of people that you hang with, the perception of you, what people say about you, how people talk about you when you're not around. All of those
yeah,
things have
and
they
what you
play they have
mentioning,
ingredients into how to you, who you are, how you carry
what you
yourself and your psyche, and how you deal with the world around you. So you would tell me how you feel about this. So you will tell a person that you shouldn't really give a fuck what somebody says or thinks or feel about you. But being that we're social creatures, you know that how someone feels about you does affect you. You don't wake up and want to be hated. You want to be accepted by your tribe. You want to be accepted by your group. But it's getting to the point now where any little thing can get you kicked out of the group.
Well,
how do you feel about that? Am I on to something or am I off?
Nah. So check this shit out. Like how you kicking it goes very much into one thing. One of my takes on the measurements of nowadays success heavy is the social or the socialness, like what you said, like just that is going digital. That's incorporating now likes and shares and views. And then you just said has those things physically attached to them now. A digital platform, you know. So that's a measurement itself, you know. And oddly enough, as you say, the people want the acceptance. You want to be liked and taken and accepted, but also you got people deeming themselves really at the top, at the upper echelon, because people don't like it, because people hate it. You know what I mean? And because now you have these digital platforms of the likes, the shares, the views, to where like no matter which side you at with that, they're gonna win on that shit. Like they're gonna win no matter like what, because even if it's still taking likes and share, it's taking views and shares if somebody's necessarily not even being liked. You know what I mean? It's like a motherfucker sharing like, look at this jackass. You know, look at this dumb shit. Look at this foul shit. But this shit is still
me and you old enough to remember pre-Facebook, Instagram. How many friends did you have growing up?
Like coming up?
I mean, I'm asking a question. Like, yeah, I say you know
you talking about like
elementary, middle school years.
Man, my shit always been
elementary. Because I'm old. I mean, I'm old enough to where my high school wasn't. You know, we didn't have all of that stuff either. So you know, when I coming up, I had a handful. I had a handful of friends. A handful, and these was the people. And I mean, you were saying that you probably had less than that. So
yeah, I had about like maybe 2 friends.
The circle that we're in. So the people that we were trying to impress was very small. That number, that circle of people was very small. Fast forward to now, and you have damn near an endless amount of eyes that's on you. And you know, just being a normal average person. Now we're not even talking about celebrities now in this day and age. Just, you know, your average 9-to-5 has so many eyes on them. How do you think that affects someone? Or how can that affect someone? How has that affected us?
As far as just like the access of just all these extra perceptions into your personal life. I think I've personally seen it, me myself, because I ain't really played much into that there. You know, the effects it has on me is an eye opener to just how much opinions hold heavy to a lot of other people. Cause see me, man, I don't give a fuck. I've always been like that. I really always been like that. This ain't no act,
pretty much.
Whatever. But I see a lot of other people do. People really do care. Like people really do care what the next person think about them. I don't care how hard body they be. Cause see, one of my misperceptions was the middle finger. And what I mean by the middle finger is like I see a lot of people back in the picture, you know, everybody put a middle finger up in the picture, middle fingers up all around. They don't give a fuck, this and that there. But in reality, man, they do. You know, I thought a lot of the world didn't give a fuck. Like I thought people didn't give a fuck, but that's a lie. Like people give a fuck. Man. People do. But I'll say like but further than me,
Oh yeah.
I seen it put pressure on people on like how to live their life and shit. Like I seen people like feel the need furthermore, because I'm not saying you didn't have this pre social media, but I'm just saying that the pressure came heavier to like keeping up the Joneses or whatnot, because you can't even like now there's gonna be like there's gonna be like visual footage like of recollection of like what you were doing. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't have the latest shit, there's evidence now you was the one who didn't have the latest shit. You can't fake the funk or whatever. And so now people are gonna be like, you got some people right now, they might go to the mall and go shopping, like they really like trying on some shit. They putting on clothes, designer and shit like that. Post them like by like the bench or something like that. Like they really just chilling in that shit. You know what I'm saying? On the strength that they have to show that, hey, they got the latest too. They lit or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it in that sense, like put a lot, like I said, put the pressure on people that they just gotta keep up with that.
So you're telling me that people are going to the mall trying on clothes and like not buying it?
And not even buying it, they just going, they just putting it on, taking a picture, posting it on the ground, taking pictures with the Balenciagas, you know, on whatever the fuck. You can see it, some shit get exposed to where like I'm not one of, huh?
I don't think you heard me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
So they just putting it on, taking a picture.
Yeah, no, them boy they perping like a motherfucker with that shit, dog. Them boy doing that shit, and they doing it on the strength of like they gotta keep up with the Joneses. They gotta show everybody else like, hey, yeah, I want that shit too. What you say, bro? But no, mostly man, the boy trying.
So I think so that I'm looking at it like maybe that's an extreme case of how, you know, like back in the day, a motherfucker would go buy something but keep the tag on it and then take it back
in return. That's that type of shit they pull right now. Is like, you know, shit.
Part of like taking it home, actually going to a club,
yeah,
and try it on in the store, take the picture.
New age got a lot of cheat to it. You know, they can go in there and perp extra with the photos. You know, the cameras got the phones got the cameras on them and shit. Whatever the fuck. Back in the day, man, them boy, like you said, had to keep the tag on it, or just really just be a dummy and like cash out on the shit. Just go and fucking like, damn, like fuck it. I know I ain't got the money for the shit, but I'm gonna buy that shit to show them, boy. You know what I mean? Like they had to really be dummies with that shit versus taking a picture. Cause now, you know what I mean? Like the internet, man, the internet, a motherfucker, dog. So you got shit like that. Like people just, it don't even be real things. People be trying to deem success anymore sometimes. Yeah, I mean, who won't mind to stop? Like, bro, you believe in it, you achieving it, working, you find happiness. Anybody who find happiness in some shit that has no harm to no one else, I ain't knocking. I'm not knocking you. Straight up, you find happiness in something that is harmless to the next person, like in a violent manner, I see, you know, like, yeah, more power to you. I never knock that shit, especially here in America, because that shit, that's that shit made for.
You talking about fraud?
I mean, however you want to put anything, like you, I mean, I don't. However you want to put it. Anybody doing anything.
America and fraud in America goes hand in hand.
America is the land of the scam.
Man, boy, we have.
What is the? Would you think that?
How long has it been like this? That's my question. Like, has it really always been about the scam? Has it really been? Was there a time where hard work prevailed? Does that exist, or is that something that was, you know, always made up?
Yeah, I think that was just always like what was like the front screen.
We just went with it.
Yeah, I think that was just always that. That's why we keep sitting here thinking times be a changing, because it's like what be the poster of what life supposed to be like, you know? Like that shit to be fucking changing is like
Jeez, what up,
back then
Jeez?
that whole goddamn oh shit G stacks going on, nigga. But yeah, man, you
My nigga,
know, it's always about what they put on the
Geraldo Faldo, they
mainstream.
keeping us prey.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes it tricky to think that it wasn't always like this, but that shit always been like that shit, G. I believe so. The furthermore I go back, like, you know, I be doing my little history, I be falling off these documents, I be looking at shit, and it's like, you know, first it kind of started off with me on a smaller scale, what we talking about as far as just like in the hip hop community. We always want to talk about what motherfuckers just start to do now, and they kind of wild, and like you look at like what a Young Thug wearing and shit like that. You look at back like what Three Stacks was doing back then, his wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes wearing fishnetted clothing and shit. You know what I'm
Shit, I mean, you can
saying?
go back
It's like
to
shit always been.
you can go
What the
back to
you?
Prince.
But you get what I'm saying, G. You see what we could do? You know what I'm saying? We could do this. We can.
Yeah,
The going back shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that because of the old, because that's how it always fucking been. You know what I'm saying? It's just like certain shit is just the front stream. Like when a lot of that shit is happening, yeah, like gangster rap was getting pushed in the front. So that shit seems like it's the extra weird shit or whatever the fuck, because it's not the norm, so to say, of like the baggy shit and whatnot. And then all of a sudden now,
yeah.
you know, you
I
switch
mean,
it
when it
up.
comes down to this entertainment shit, right? We gotta understand. We have to remember as an audience that we're on the other side of the fourth wall. We're just consumers, man. The shit that goes on in their little circles or whatnot is being done to manipulate us. So believe half of what you hear and half of what you see, man, when it comes to this entertainment realm, because that's what it is. It's entertainment. And we're just here to consume it, absorb it, and buy shit. It's not, I mean, you know, you know, some people have personal feelings about the things that they are involved with. Me, I love hip hop. So of course, I'll have a biased opinion when you start talking about rappers and rap things. But at the end of the day, a person that doesn't listen to rap wouldn't give a fuck about none of what the hell is going
None
on
of that shit.
in our little world. But they still exist, and there's still important things that happen with them and what they got going on, and
Right.
they play a part in this thing called society. So
Yeah.
how do we
See,
coexist in that?
that's the shit that I'll be trying
I
to tell
said, for
anybody
one, we
that,
have to stop taking what we see so serious.
man, so serious, though. So serious. Like, motherfuckers is at like one thought is the right thought. And that's why I just feel like, goddamn, when they come down to like how sensitive the world done got, because, you know, so what? Like, it's so many motherfuckers in the world that, yeah, you can get like a batch of about 1,000 motherfuckers to get on a petition to feel the same fucking way on a general level and shit. But that shit just don't mean that shit gotta pertain to the whole motherfucking world, dog. Like straight the fuck up. Like some shit just got like the shit just making shit weak. And I ain't saying that just trying to down nobody or whatever
Too
the
much
fuck, but
generalizations.
yeah, it's just too much of that. It's just too much of that shit, though. Like for real. Yeah, that shit just don't. I don't think that strengthens society in the
Yeah.
long run. It just don't. They gonna find more and more ways to dumb shit down more and more.
I mean,
Next thing you know, you
that that shows the importance of the media. These screens that we interact with on a daily basis, it's a message just being disseminated to the masses, because without that connection, how do you observe all of us having similar patterns and traits? I mean, Charleston to Atlanta is a 4.5 hour drive, but you know, the tendencies are the same of a Charleston nigga and an Atlanta nigga. That connection is the screen. We're able to get pieces, pick up on each other's culture through that screen. So if you take that away, you will see more originality in the regional areas. Now we still have it. I'm not saying that it disappears altogether, but these TV screens, your phones, and all of that shit, we're so connected now that we are kind of like becoming one hive mind. At least that's what I see through the in the atmosphere.
And I just feel like when it comes down to that type of shit, it's really making it hard for the folks that do suffer with the said high anxieties and things to be that get that need to set the real awareness for real, because like nowadays that shit gonna be taken lightly, because nowadays everybody's depressed, everybody got anxiety, everybody mental is man shit. And like I said, that's just one of the things I see as a downfall of the generalization of just the awareness on that. Like, I ain't want to be contradictory of that shit, like saying they don't need this awareness, but it's in the wrong way. like I said, people.
It seems like at a point, right? It seems like every idea hits a point of oversaturation. It seems like if you bring it up enough, you say it enough, that eventually it loses its sting. And
yeah, man.
Especially kind of when in the consciousness of the people, it's like you're not really seeing any progression. So it's like, why do we keep coming back to this thing? And even those that support said cause or movement, they feel the fatigue and the weariness too. So I guess that's why they call it a struggle. You're not really gonna. Do you see an end game? Do you see how does this end for us?
Right. It'd be like, what is the end game? That'd be like my question. Like, what exactly is it? Because it's like you said, the shit can start off, it can form from a good place and everything and whatnot, but you got to ultimately think about what is going to reach, what is going to be the further outcome of the actions we want to take place. Like, want progression of it, or you just want
a lot of revolutions go bad.
Man, for real, because a lot of revolutions like that shit do, as much as it might be have its organization to be formed, it be out of like said irrations too, because it's out of a hell of an emotion. It comes out of being radical to some degree, you know what I mean? So like that is a part of it. Not saying it didn't stem from something, right? Like something's going wrong terribly. It wasn't saying that they're wrong that had come to the points that they came to. But you got the, like any revolution, there is some type of irrations to be. There's some radicalness in that shit. You can't not have that.
I'll bring up something, and I'm gonna bring something up, and you tell me how you feel about it and retort to it. Luca, what's up? What's up, big boy? What's going on, playboy?
Yo.
You see you working, nigga. My man Big Things popping. Check him out. Spotify, download it. YouTube it.
All right.
All that good stuff. We got the music in Charleston, man. That ain't never been the issue. But that's another topic. But anyway, what we was saying, Kai? I was about to say something about something.
You better hit me with a little question and say, goddamn.
I was about to say something about something. Yeah, because we was talking about revolutions. All right.
Right.
So you have two big revolutions that happened that changed the course of history. You have the Haitian Rebellion in Haiti, and then you have the American Revolution, the Civil War. The Civil War. That's what I want to talk about. So you have one where the slaves revolted and they gained their independence. Haiti is an independent country. They fought French, yeah, and they gained their independence. Then you have the American slave. We rioted, we had our rebellions, but we didn't have a full scale revolt where we overthrew the government and became, whatever country we would have been. Now, my question to you: which situation you think came out for the best or for the good?
As far as in that with the Civil War and shit.
I mean, which one would you? Which is you being a black man with your? Which move would you have been with? Would you've been cool with the, more or less going through the struggle and hoping for it to be a brighter end, or the more militant Haitian revolution where they took their?
I mean, I say
their
goddamn.
freedoms.
Yeah, I know, man. I think I'm at the robot option too, man. Just the more of that route, like just getting straight to that shit. I mean, just the way how it happened, like I don't really take back on no way how the way history played out. I feel like that shit played out like that for a reason. Like the time had a beginning, and this was the action that played out like for a reason. Like this is naturally what man came to, through all of that shit. So it's like, yeah, I think kind of cool with just how that shit already naturally played out. Because it's like we can only say what we saying.
Well,
off of the word
where I'm going at with this. Well, that's what I was about to say. Like I'm saying this to say, of course we speak in revisionist history when we talking about this, because we see the situation in Haiti, and that's not really something that I would think that you would want to deal with. And just the fact that me and you can sit here on this camera and have an opinion about that and really not no consequences coming from it is a testament to what has happened and occurred through history. But I bring it up because we are so. What is that to say about you? Already know that the outcome wasn't really going to be too good for the violent rebellion, but you still have that impulsion to where like that is the way that I would rather had handled the situation. Because I mean, I agree with you. Me and you are pretty similar in thought.
But
I would, I would want to say that. Damn, why couldn't we have just?
Yeah, but no, like you said, with that whole like how we would really stemming back to is the irration shit. Like, yeah, I think that shit been necessary. Like sometimes it get to that motherfucking point. You know what I'm saying? Like you sit right there, it's like, man, you raising a child, you trying to teach them better, they doing something out of line. You telling them, hey, no, don't do that. Yeah, you just saying it to them. Them boys show you that they ain't getting it. You look, hey, what I tell you? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just gotta get like, did you necessarily have to be yelling and shit like that? No, but do you want to get your point across or not? It comes down to that. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to that said action, I just think like, yeah, maybe something, that shit was necessary. I think it was very necessary.
And I mean, of course, I'm leaving out a whole lot in that story just to get to a point that I want to make, because it boils down to, once you do that, you gotta have infrastructure. You gotta have the right leadership. Once you decide to make that step, we want to tear it all down. In the aftermath, you have to have good leaders that's able to bring the people back. And if the Haitian people would have had that, we'll be having a different conversation. But I just wanted to bring that up because what does that say about our impunction for violence?
See, That'd be the ultimate thing. Like when it come back to the yin yang of the whole good and bad, like without that violence, like we talking about, man, the nitty gritty, the worst of the worst. We talking about some massacre. That type of shit happening, like you don't know true
Yeah,
peace until that type of shit happening. Like you really like it's some kind of maybe motherfucker might think it's fucked up to say, but goddamn it, dog, you don't know true hand to hand with strangers and nobody. Everybody gets the world like together on some mankind shit. Like until shit like that happen. You don't know the fucking love down there, but for real until shit like that fucking happens though.
yeah.
You know the balance of the world, man. Shit get wicked. It's crazy. Sometimes you know the extreme. Like I said, just sticking
Yin
to
and
what we
yang,
talking
50
about the
50, 50 50,
irrations.
baby.
Like what shit. You know, like I said, the irrations. It brings that shit back. It brings that reality back at the end of the day to what the really truly value out you. Like for instance, that whole with the whole Super Bowl parade, man, with the Chiefs out there, but the shooting that happening at the parade, like
Yep.
that type of shit, you know what I mean,
Condolences to the
going down.
victims.
Yeah, man, definitely condolences to the family. Like that shit, it be some messed up stuff. But those things happening always put it right back on people's minds to like, you know, yeah, really value what's around you. Don't be taking shit for granted. You know what I'm saying?
And that's kind and it's sad that that's the norm of our society, that these type things will take place. It's just about when, where, when it's going to happen, because once again, we're more connected than ever as people, so you
Yeah,
feeling empathy for a person in Kansas City is a real thing, is a real thing.
yeah, man.
And we're all sharing in our traumas nowadays more than ever, but we're not we're not, healing each other. So that's something that we should work on. I would advise it, but who am I?
Yeah,
Who
you
am
know.
I?
Nah, man, who are you? Or just another you? Hey, you are a person of this world. Like you here on this earth, just like everybody else. That's what you want to say to the motherfuckers. If you was at the podium, you could reach everybody. That's what you voice. Shit, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Respect it and check it if they feel elsewise. Like
Yeah, that's what I would tell him,
that's
Kyle. I would tell him, man, chill out, man. You see the Bob Marley movie yet?
nah, that's already out. I seen like the trailers and shit like that. But Bob, that's one I could go for like watching
Yeah,
again.
that
Like that
shit came
ain't
out
something
mad
that been
fire.
really like fresh out there. The more don't like to really talk about Bob so much. You know what I'm saying? They like to keep it all typical, keep his face on memorabilia and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fucking get high type shit. They don't really like to speak how
Yeah,
Bob really been coming too much.
yeah. The real,
So yeah,
the
so I
real.
think it's kind of cool. Kind of cool they really putting that back
That's what
out
I'm
there.
saying, man. Once they got
Yeah,
your story, dog. Once they got your story, you gotta tell. You gotta. It's important to tell your own story, man. Because once it get out of your hands, ain't no telling what the hell gonna happen, man. I was watching this. So the Griselda came out on Netflix,
so I've been hearing, but I haven't
and they
seen it.
have
I've
like
been
a
hearing everybody say they takes on it. I heard so many people saying that there's a lot of holes in that shit. But I haven't seen it personally
it's
myself. I
basic.
even haven't seen a
It's
trailer.
basically an alternate reality.
Is it? It's not trying to be like
Now,
base straight
I like
event
the
for
shit.
event.
I don't regard before I say my statement. I like it regardless. I like it overall. I give that shit a B plus. I like it. Good show. I recommend you watch it. Now,
Okay.
it is not. It's not accurate. It's not accurate. Griselda's son, he has come out and he's had a 6-part series where he's been speaking on it, and he's been filling in the blanks and saying what's been right, what's been wrong, and all of that good stuff. But I brought that up to say that your they will say what they need to say about you to get what they need for their agenda. So it's important, if you have the power to tell your story, to tell it. Don't be afraid to tell it. They'll try to get you not to tell it. They'll try to cancel you. They'll try to mute you. But if you have the wits to do it, it should be done, because it's important for your, the ones you leave behind to have an accurate version of you, because they're going to be basing decisions that they make in their future lives off of the decisions you made, because that's their personal history.
Right.
So, that's why we do this, man.
Yeah, man. No, you're right, man. I think that's very key. That's a very key thing to do, like, especially if you have someone like a Bob Marley, that type of power, bro, that type of presence to the world. Like, very much important that you have your hand on spreading your story, because very much could be manipulated in the wrong way on a grand level, for sure. The manipulation for an agenda, that's a real thing.
Don't get no realer. The war on drugs, the war on poverty, the war on terror. All of these is marketing terms, man.
Yeah, man.
They just switching up the words and giving you the same hatred.
Yeah, basically.
But, make America great again.
Or whatever the fuck that mean.
That's where we at.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna yang with it. It was never great.
Whatever that mean,
it was never great. It was never fucking great.
It wasn't for us.
It was never fucking great.
It wasn't for us. And then, the other side of that is, man, I don't know. You let some others tell it. It's your fault. You let some other people tell it. The reason you not whatever it is you. Is because of you. The reason you're not enjoying this American dream is you're lazy, whatever, and live with it.
Yeah. Basically.
That's definitely a philosophy that's out there.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I take bits and pieces from it, because I do believe, that goes back to what we was talking about with control. What do you control? What is a control? I make decisions. I'm presented with information and I decide some shit. Do I have control?
Man, I encourage. I play as right here, and it's not like on some old power trip shit, because it can just be within self. It don't got nothing to do with next body or something. But I encourage everybody to have as much control within self as possible, man. Self-control is very key. You got self-control, triggers down to self-discipline, self-knowledge. Like self is important. Self-love, like all of that shit. Like, it all stems within. Like, how you treat yourself is how you gonna treat the world and shit. Naturally. Like, in the best sense.
What if you treat yourself like shit?
Yeah, so it's like, if you don't even respecting yourself, you damn sure ain't respecting nobody else. You ain't respecting the universe. You know what I mean? Like, universal energy, man, that's a real fucking thing, though. I don't care about nobody's religion or whatever the fuck. Like, man, that frequency is for real.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Like, seriously,
I do.
man.
But I believe that, and it travels, the negative and the positive.
Like seriously, like you
Big
bring that shit on
Tweezy.
yourself.
What's going on, Tweez?
Mm.
That's real Somerville right there, nigga. Yeah.
You bring the boy out in that building. Mm-mm.
You know what it is, man. We some old
Yeah,
niggas, but we still here. Rest in peace to those that ain't.
Always
Rest in
salute
peace to
those.
those who ain't, nigga.
Indeed.
Universal death threats. Yeah, man, we had a funny time, man. We had a funny time, dog. We have so much information at our fingertips. We know everything, but know nothing at the same time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Make it make sense.
Yeah, we don't know what we want to know.
It
And
be
then that
like
leaves
man.
room for interpretations and conspiracies, and it
All
could
that
be
shit.
right. So
Hey,
fuck
man,
it, let's say it, because it might be right. There's a chance. So
you just
let's
gotta
just
know,
put it out
like
there.
everything that is just put out there ain't 100%. You just gotta know that shit, though.
It's all love,
You
Tweed.
just gotta know. You just can't believe everything. It might be some shit that I ain't even got an eye on. Something that I ain't even thinking to question out that motherfucker. Something ain't nobody thinking to question. And that shit is all like a fucking lie or something. Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Them boy got like
I don't
TV
know,
scripted,
Kai.
bro.
And they call it reality TV.
That's what I'm about to say, dog. That reality TV. Look at how they do reality TV. You don't think they could do like the podium like that? Just saying.
What do you mean the podium?
Like when any of them motherfuckers speak, a senator, a governor, any official, the president take the podium, a senator take the podium, a governor take the podium. Any of them motherfuckers getting up to the fucking podium, like that shit can be the same shit, just like reality TV.
It sure can, like, and at some points in time, I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with you and say that it already is,
like being done in that fashion. Like seriously, man. Like
we just had a president that was a reality TV star.
Yeah,
we just had,
you know what I mean? Like
we just went through that. And now we have a president that was. We have a president now. Biden was at the center of the 3 strikes law that got us all fucked up. Now, when you talk about mass incarceration and things of that sort, and now we're sitting here believing that he is going to be the person that rectifies that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck all that. But some people really believe, though. You know what I mean? Some people like
the vice president. Yeah, the vice president was a district attorney. Her job,
that bitch
to lock your ass up. That's what she did.
Niggas up. Them boy made, you see them boy made a collage of her face out of the people she locked up. That shit was fun.
Nah, I ain't see that.
That shit crazy. I mean, not funny.
But like, that's where we at, man.
Damn it. World got crazy. I think that's why it's hard for people to take politics serious nowadays, because there are a lot of like issues out there that like need attending to, like for sure. But right now, everybody is stuck on what the face of it should be. Nobody is even really worried about the said issues anymore. We brought them face issues, the more like legalization of weed and bullshit like that. But goddamn, nowadays it's like, oh, Trump.
I don't even know. I don't. What is it?
The more just stuck on like it being
what's
Trump.
The issue nowadays?
That's going on around and shit like that. Like for one thing, it was like this right here. That whole like with just something simple. That front shit ever get situated? That goddamn water over there and whatnot. Like the water in Flint, is that
No.
still a thing?
That's a no. That's a no.
And then you had like fucking like man, what was it, dog? It was some other shit going on out there. Look,
You see
I'm
what I'm
not saying
saying? Like,
this.
it's not even like shit ain't even shit going on no more. Like motherfuckers ain't even talking about problems no more. It's just straight Usher at the Super Bowl halftime. Like that's all it is now.
Usher taking your bitch. You watch that for the Usher taking your. You got that's the shit. Beware, be fucking weird. That's the fucking news now.
Beware Usher, nigga. That's what all it is now. Like me and you just sat here and we couldn't tell you two topics. Okay, the war in the Middle East. That's one. Like
you got all that going on.
What the fuck is going on now?
Yeah, they're not even letting us know. It's some bullshit.
Like what the fuck is really happening?
We making it all about
Usher. Who else?
No, it's just about as far as the political shit. It's about
and all that other stupid shit.
Trump, a woman being a president, a goddamn fucking weed being legal, fucking.
And I think that's just because of us. Me and you smoke weed. I don't even think that's an issue no more. Motherfuckers don't talk about it.
No, I don't even think. But I'm just saying. They try to say something that South Carolina just had passed on that shit. Where they bought the damn it's like that one more vote that shit can be legal or something.
How the fuck Usher do the Super Bowl? That is
Usher is pretty.
I mean that Las Vegas shit. That Las
he
Vegas.
Did the Las Vegas.
He had the residency. Yeah.
And they're going on tour, so he set it up for his promotion. I feel like that's how that shit happened.
Too much sexy. When that motherfucker took that shirt off, boy, I was like, damn, boy, this nigga really going for it. What?
That nigga going up there, grabbing Swiss wife,
touching nigga wives and shit. Yeah, like I mean, well, so fuck it. Since we gonna be petty, we gonna be petty the last little 5 minutes. We done been philosophical. How you feel about my man touching all up on my man gal on the stage and shit?
Man, that bitch ain't never really. All right, so because I don't really know these people here. Motherfucker want to call me, calling her a bitch, this and that. That's just how I talk. But all I'm sitting there saying is, goddamn, ain't shorty had like wreck his home in the first place and shit. Like she been like the little side bitch, but it's like she been like the fucking home wrecker or whatever the fuck. Like shorty been messy or whatever the fuck, man. Like goddamn, what you really expected out of like I feel like Swiss so, like, already cool.
We preface,
I feel like Swiss
we preface
Swiss see that fucker Usher out here on a rampage just as much as the rest of us and shit. He knew what was at hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like he probably got comfort in his skin. Like, man, he already went through the hard parts with her and all that shit, though. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like them boy already did with that shit, dog. It's like, you know.
What about Usher said Super Bowl? I mean, it's supposed to be a thing of a marriage of sports and entertainment. So it's supposed to be like who the hottest thing of what's going on. And like we were saying, by him already being in Vegas, it probably was just. No, I mean, man. At the end of the day, you gotta be. And at the end of the day, you gotta be able to book a motherfucker too. Now,
bruh,
he probably been a nigga that can book.
Bruh,
he got hits.
Usher got.
I'm not saying
Usher is a headliner, though. That nigga's a headliner now. We can't do him now being like, damn, how the hell he get here? It's not like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Can you name some other acts that could have trumped it? Sure. But Usher one of them acts, dog. He up there, man. Like, at this point in his career, the nigga started off at like 14, 15 years old and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motherfucker paid his dues.
That fucking, Lord Jesus. That song, that shit.
And you know that's crazy. That's him, like kind of like trying to make a comeback in his career at that time when he made that song. I mean, that kind of go hand in hand.
That nigga damn sure had. I got tired.
So you feeling like, so your partner feeling like he too big for the Super Bowl, like he shouldn't have did it, like he just been too big for it. I think. Like, if he's saying that, I could agree, but I just think it's the marketing move more or less. Like,
Tweez, if
like
you still there,
defending.
you got to answer that one, Tweez. I don't know. What makes you think that he shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl? What, he too not the vibe?
I just want to know, was he too big for the Super Bowl?
No, not the vibe.
Oh,
He was saying it's not the
not the
vibe.
vibe.
So
Oh,
forgive
not
me
the
for
vibe.
putting words in your mouth. Maybe it's like, you know, he too
Okay,
R&B-ish,
okay, all right. So Big Bro coming like that, saying not the
too
vibe. I
clubbish.
compute what he's saying, but it's more or less like shit, man. We kind of past them points of what who really gonna be performing on the vibe. So to say, it's about what's selling and shit. And right now, you know, that goddamn that Usher was like a good movie. He already doing the Vegas residency shit. He going on tour.
There's a couple of things that's going on with that. Now you got to realize that Rock Nation is heavily involved with what's happening as far as who's putting on the performances and whatnot. Over the past years, you got to remember that you had all of that Colin Kaepernick stuff. So, you know, you're still trying to get, the NFL is still trying to repair their image from all of that politics. Yeah, so you're going to go for the cleanest talent that you can get at the moment. And Usher is somebody who's actually working, and he's pretty clean. Besides for taking his shirt off and rubbing up on people's wives and shit.
That's what I said. Choop play for real. They said, don't leave girl around me. Choop player for real.
For real. That nigga with it, boy. Cash is dead.
Yeah, fucking sick. That nigga's sick.
Yeah, well, I guess it feels good to be Usher. They had a little meme floating around where he was banging his head up against Nicki Minaj's ass and shit.
Is he wrong? Is he wrong? You a superstar. You close to this bit. Come on. I mean, I'm just saying. Fuck it, man. Life of a superstar.
If they wasn't talking, if they ain't talk about it behind stage, that is assault. But hey, who am I?
We ain't gonna make no accusations on them.
Hey, you know, if they didn't discuss it behind stage, if she didn't give the consent for him to put his head on the ass or grab or touch,
yeah,
that is assault. That ain't no I ain't know. That's facts. That's the law. It's all about if you, as the female, want to be the person to say something.
Yeah.
The last person that happened to was Suki. One of them rap niggas that like kiss her or did some dual shit during one of them interviews, and she had came out later and was like, I felt uncomfortable with him doing that, and she caught a lot of hell behind that shit.
Yeah. That shit.
And that was her standing, talking, speaking up for herself. Who your boo? Sukiana? Suki your boo?
I didn't really know where them characters come from.
Who come from when you say characters?
Like the Suki and Hana or whatever.
Oh man, I mean, that's just
I know the name at this point, but I still don't really know like who she is for real. Like, is she off Love and Hip Hop or some shit?
You asking the wrong one about her origin story. I don't know, but I'm not shocked that someone like Sukihana exists, because it's just, you know, that's the lineage of raunchy pop. Sex sells, and, you know, shit. There's always going to be a place for that.
Sex sells.
Always.
Sure.
Yes, sir. At the end of the day, you got to go with what works.
Mm-hmm. It's going to work every time.
And I'm not here to judge you.
Nah,
I'm not here to judge you.
For all means, I mean, shit, you going in that type of line of work.
Oh, okay. You talking about the song.
Worrying about judgment. Oh, bro, Usher ass, bro. That nigga, he
ain't feeling that Usher shit.
He ain't fucking with that Usher, bro. He nigga was out with that Usher shit. Hey, that shit crazy. I heard about everybody say it was a pretty good performance. It was pretty cool. Yada yada yada.
I mean, they rank it up there.
Oh
But
man.
then one of my partners had showed like the Michael Jackson one. I had to like, yeah, but
Oh
Michael
yeah,
Jackson
you can't
look
fuck
like
with
that
that.
shit was out of insane.
Man, my people always used to
That
say
nigga
that shit. Never
damn.
seen nobody fucking with that Mike Jack. Choked on stage. Yeah, Alicia Keys. Yeah. Fucking Alicia. Alicia choked. She did. She came on there,
Ooh,
goddamn, about the
man.
trope or some shit, like already at the
Well, Kai,
beginning of the
we
song.
done talk a good with.
Yeah, man. One thing
Oh,
I
I ain't know
was to
nothing about that.
say. But yeah, man, one thing, my last little thought, dog, was be as far as like, I'm just touching base on that whole control, like self-control stemming from self-love. You know what I mean? I encourage that in anybody. Like, all they're gonna do is help you reach positive things. That's my feel on it.
So that's it. That's the quote for the for this week. Words from Kai,
Yeah,
Kai the prophet.
yeah, them boy call me the fucking
Self-discipline,
philosopher or something.
self-control,
Self-control, man.
the
Self-control, dog.
philosopher.
That wheel slipping there, you got it right there. You can maintain it easy.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah, real. That's my
Yeah,
thoughts.
Kai, what I want to leave the people with this week. If you feel like you're like, in a quagmire, stagnant, take the time and just meditate, man. You feel like you ain't moving, you ain't feel like you ain't progressing, you ain't going nowhere, man. Stop for a second. Some people call it prayer. I call it meditation. Just sit and listen. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Just listen. Listen to your thoughts. Listen to yourself. And take some of that stress and that pressure off you, man, because that come with it. That come with being human, baby. This thing is designed to take you out. You're not supposed to be here forever. So at some point in time, you will be checking out. So in between now and then, let's not make it hard on ourselves.
For sure.
So this week, at some point in time, just take a time out to listen.
Indeed, my man. Indeed.
Indeed. All right, my boy. We is out of here. I would like to thank everybody who checked in, who liked, who made comments,
Appreciate
tweets.
y'all.
Boy, that's
checking in,
the
fucking with us.
Flower Town Village. Luca, Waldo, Stack G's.
Shout out to all y'all.
Shout out
boys,
to
man.
everybody. Thank y'all for commenting. That's what we here for, man. We're trying to build we're trying to build our own little community, man. Ain't much we can do but talk about this shit. So they fucking us left and right. we so far down the totem pole. All we really can do is just cry about the shit.
Kick that shit, dog. Fucking, I got my 2 cents, damn it.
I got my 2 cents. I said it, goddamn. At least you know I ain't no dummy, bitch. I know you're screwing me and you're fucking me over, bitch. I know, motherfucker.
Yeah. The fuck? What? I can't talk about it. You can just do the shit. I gotta stay quiet. Fuck you.
Ain't nothing else, ain't enough guns. I can't outshoot you. I can't outfight you. So I'm just nag you to death.
Yep.
Cents makes dollars, nigga, all day, every day.
All right.
All right,
So,
Kai, man. Good night, nigga. Happy
all right,
President's Day.
Yeah, man. CNT, dog. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking President's Day.
President's Day.
All right, G.
All right.